Hello, my name is IPL4 aka Livinpink, and I will be casting this game today for you guys. So let's get right into it. Spawning at the 6 o'clock position, we have from Team Liquid, it is TaeJa. And spawning at the noon o'clock position, or midnight, you can choose, we have our blue protest player from Team Complexity Gaming, it is Killer. So this game is going to be quite interesting, as both of those players are really high caliber players. Both of them are actually Korean, and as you know, Koreans are pretty good at StarCraft, and both of them have competed in GSL, and GSTL in both Code A and Code S, and I've done fairly well. Not incredible results, but actually quite good. Especially TaeJa, who got to the round of 4 in Code A, and he also got to Code S and Complexity Killer too. He got to round of 8 of Code A and into Code S quarterfinals. So Killer has a little bit of a better record, but this doesn't mean anything. Basically, both of them are very skilled players and could take this match. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens there. So we're going to play this game on the IPL version of the map Metropolis. And right now we see a little bit of scouting action going on by Complexity Killer. And he's going to check out what's going on in Terran base. Finds out that only that one gas has been taken, which means that the Terran player did not opt to go for a gasless expand, and is actually opting to go for a little bit more teching. This could mean that he's going to drop off a tech lab or a reactor, or maybe he's going to go into more of a 1-1-1 build or something like that, because he took his gas quite early, so I don't know what he's going to opt to do. Oh, interesting choice by coLKiller right there. That's a little bit of, well, he's spending minerals, but this gives him more time of scouting information. Is he going to cancel? I don't know. It seems like no, he didn't cancel, so he decided to invest that money to find out what's going on in the Terran space, and maybe, well, if the Terran wanted to put down a tech lab or a reactor, he would actually have had to lift up the barrack and move it a little bit more to the side, so that would have been some lost time and, well, fairly annoying. And this is also occupying the Marines a little bit of time, so I don't know about this choice, but he did it, so I guess he had his reasons. And right now we see that the Terran player is now taking his second gas, so he's actually going for a very techy route. And now we see that his factory is about to finish. He might follow it up with the starport. When I take 2 gases as a Terran player, what I usually go for is for Cloaked Banshee. But it doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to go for Cloaked Banshee. He might just go for Banshee without Cloak, or he might go for Siege Tanks. I don't know, I guess we'll find out. But, well, it still seems like he's heading down that path though. But we'll find out later. And meanwhile we have the Predator player who decided to take his natural expansion very quickly, and he also opted to take only 1 gas so far, and he's following it up with two gateways, and he's now getting some scouting information. He's grabbed the both watchtowers, which is always a nice thing to do, and is now moving forward with his stalker. You can see there that he opted not to go for a zealot. That way he could move around freely with his stalker, get some more scouting information. He's going to be able to poke up here in order to see what's going on. He sees that there are a lot of Marines, and now he's going to be able to retreat, regenerate his shields, and get home safely. Let's see what's going on in the Protoss base right now. He opted to take his second gas, and now we see that he decided to go for Sentry. So this seems like he's going to do more, since usually you don't just want 2 sentries, you want more in order to do more force fields. So yeah, I like this choice. He's taking them very early, that way he's going to be able to fill them up with energy and have a lot of force fields. And on this map, force fields are extremely good, because there are so many small chokes where you can use them to your advantage to get the positional advantage, as well as get units stuck, like if you have zealots and now they can't retreat, etc, etc. But now we have our Terran player who opted to go for Cloak Banshee. Moving forward with his first Cloak Banshee. Is the Protoss player ready for that though? He doesn't have an observer yet. Let's make sure in the unit tab. No, he doesn't, so he's not ready, but it seems like it's actually going to pop out really soon, so the Banshee should not be able to do too much damage, and he's going to have to retreat. As you see right now, it's getting well, it got a little bit of kills, but it didn't do too much. So yeah, one more observer being made. This is always good. You want to have many observers in order to have good vision of the map and know what's going on. And now the Terran player took his expansion and decided to make a third command center fairly early. Well, one thing to note is that this doesn't mean that he has to take his third. This just means that, oh, we see the Banshee is doing some harass, taking down the one sentry, really nice, and now just retreating. This is very good. And yeah, what I was about to say is that he doesn't have to take his third. He can just use this command center in order to drop more mules and produce more SCVs, which is just a way to get another bit of more economical advantage. And now he's opting to get a Raven, which I love. That way he's going to be able to get PDDs, which are very effective against stalkers and are going to make the Banshees much more useful. One thing I would like you guys to note is that the Terran player is now actually accumulating a lot of Banshees, and he's saving them, and that could be used to take those island expansions. Those island expansions make the map special in a way. Because, well, they're the only ones who have creep tumors on them. And the reason they're there is probably because it would be way too easy for the Terran player to grab the island expansion if the creep wasn't there. Because now what the Terran player has to do to grab it is to remove the creep tumor, is to get detection to remove it, and then wait for the creep to recede, and then finally grab the island expansion. Well, this could actually be done right now by the Terran player, because he has all of what he needs to do it. But does he want to? I mean, that's up to him. I guess we'll find out. But also, one thing to note is that the island expansion, well, they can be taken by the player with the air superiority. Because if you don't have it, then you won't be able to save your island expansions, pretty much. And now we got the Protoss player, the Terran player moving forward with his 4 Banshees, and he's gonna find out if he can do some sweet harassment. Is the Protoss player ready? It doesn't seem like it, but that scan is a little bit telling that something iffy is going to go on at the main base of the Terran player. And now the Terran player just checking out if the creep has been taken out. He finds out that no, it didn't. And now let's see if he's able to do any kind of damage with those Banshees, taking down one stalker. A second stalker is going down, but I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to do too much. Be careful, Colossus, you don't want to get caught out of position. And yeah, a little bit of damage being done by the Banshees, but nothing too dramatic right there. But that way the Terran player has been able to scout the army composition of the Protoss player, which is actually important. You notice that there was one Colossus, so it means the Protoss player can go intensely into Colossus mode. And now coLKiller finally transferring his probe to his 3rd base, so now he's going to have a very good economy. And meanwhile, at the same time, we got the Terran player finally deciding to move out his base. He feels safe, it feels that this is the time to take it. He's probably going to take down those rocks in order to defend his expansion more quickly. He has a very good defense setup. And yeah, decided to float his barrack, his factory right there in order to get a little bit more vision. Since he wasn't able, well, since he didn't want to use it, pretty much. It's always a nice thing to do when you don't use a building. You can always float it around for additional vision, especially like for the siege tank. You can get an additional vision. Here you go, taking down the rocks. Very sweet timing by LiquidTaeJa, but what do you expect? He's a Korean player of very high caliber, so yeah, no big surprise there. Ooh, here we see coLKiller is actually taking all his gases, and now he has a Templar archive, so I guess we're going to see some high Templars, maybe Archons. I guess we'll see, we'll find out. Depends if he takes, if he gets Storms or no. But Storms could actually be very good in this matchup, especially right now, considering that the Terran player, seeing that there was Colossus, opted to do more Viking. He also made a lot of Banshees, so it doesn't have that many Medivacs. So Storms could be very, very hard to deal with if the Terran player doesn't get a good angle and isn't able to dodge the Storms. And now very nice PDD dropped by the Raven. That stops all kinds of attack coming from the sentries, so a little bit more damage is being dealt by the Banshees, but still nothing too... the Banshees didn't do too much, apart from being very annoying. But this did force the Protoss to pull back so that the Terran player could move forward, but he didn't pull back all of his army, so it wasn't such a big deal, and the Terran player didn't get to do much damage. Here you go, now he just scouted that the third base of the Protoss player has been taken. So now he's retreating. Both of the players are massing their units. Psionic Storm is about to finish its research, so I guess the Protoss player opted not to go for Archons, but to go for the Storms. He might do Archons though, it's up to him. And as you might or might not have noticed earlier, the Protoss player has decided to go for very heavy Zealot composition. He has a charge on them, so this is going to be this could be very effective, but there's not that many sentries, so the Terran player is going to be able to flee if he so desires. And now the Terran player going for a drop, loading up 2 Medivacs along with all of his air units. He's going to be able to take down 1 pylon. Another PDD is still there. And now he's going to be able to do a little bit of damage, but has to pull back really quickly because the Protoss army was, the Protoss LiquidTaeJa was, not LiquidTaeJa, coLKiller, I'm sorry, has been reactive enough, and that way coLKiller didn't do that much damage. A little bit of missed micro there. We got a little bit of TaeJa lost a little bit of units right there, but it's nothing too impactful right now. So big big attack going on. Very good angle for the Terran player, but a little bit of his army has been cut off of position, and now he's forced to retreat. Very nice storm on the Terran player's units, and yeah, ooh, very nice feedbacks on the mid-evacs right there. So yeah, the Terran player is now forced to go back. This was actually this didn't go too well for the Terran player. I thought he expected to do more damage with that, but LiquidTaeJa's macro is really good right now, so we can see a supply that did just drop go back up very, very fast. And yeah, well, he had just the right number also of air units in order to take down the Colossus, which is always important. You have to be careful with that. And yeah, so right now both players are gonna probably re-macro for a little while and then attack each other. Ooh, I guess not. I guess the Terran player wants to be aggressive, and he's now taking its fourth base, I'm sorry, as well as the Protoss player. Very nicely tamed. Both of them know when to take their additional bases when they want to macro up, and a huge drop is incoming by the Terran player, but he's going to have to be very careful because his mid-evacs are really, really hurt. He could risk losing a lot of his army right there. He has to be careful and retreat really quickly because the Protoss player is moving forward. So is he going to be able to save everything? Very nice pickup. Ugh! One mid-evac goes down. It was full of unit. This hurts actually a lot. Oh, very nice blink forward, taking down another mid-evac. So this actually hurts the Terran player quite a bit. But he's not out of it yet, especially with his sick macro taking another base yet again. he's going to be able to macro very quickly. So it's not too dramatic, but you never want to lose units for nothing, basically. And yeah, right now the Terran player researching Cloak, getting 3-3 on his bio, so he's going very bio heavy right there. And now a big effrontment might happen. We see the floating barrack factory scouting along with the scan. Both of them seem hesitant. They're not so sure. They want to make sure they engage at the right angle, especially the Terran player, because he wants to be able to EMP the Templars, or else his army might get decimated, especially with not that many medivacs. You have to be very careful. And yeah, both players are now approaching the max. Well, both of them are pretty much max right now. So an attack should be incoming, because you don't want to stay max forever. You want to use up those units, or at least do a couple drops or a little bit of harassment here and there. Like right now, the Zealots are harassing the Terran's base and force a liftoff, so that's a little bit of lost mining time. That forces the Terran player to move his army, and yeah, always annoying. Still, he's also going to lose this this refinery, so this is not cool for him. And now we got the Princess player moving forward, and the front an attack might be incoming or not. They're both a little bit hesitant, and yeah, an attack should come in, happen soon. We have a lot of Vikings for the Terran player, so few medevacs though. So it's going to be very crucial that he lands those EMPs, as I said earlier. There's actually quite a bit of Colossus, but not too many. Very nice ratio of Viking to Colossus. And now the Vikings are moving forward. They're going to try to snipe the Colossus, probably. Maybe not, I guess we'll see. And oh, the ghosts are moving forward. They're getting close. Are they going to be able to land the EMPs? Very nice EMPs on all of the Templars and the Zealots. The Vikings are focus firing the Colossus, able to take down quite a bit. Very nice angle of attack for the Terran player. This is a very good concave for him. A lot of Marauders. They're doing so much damage to the Protoss player, who's now left in shambles. He doesn't have that much left over, and now his army is decimated, and the Terran player is moving forward. This seems like this could be game. coLKiller is now at only 90 supply. TaeJa is at 156 with so many bases, and this Colossus will not live long at all. He's doomed for death and destruction. And here you go, he falls down. I don't think the Protoss player can come back from this. He does have a little bit of an army, but it's not enough. It's not there's not enough meat to support it. And GG by coLKiller, and LiquidTaeJa takes the game. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys soon, and I wish you a very nice day. So, goodbye. Thank you.